Well, the old term flip a coin really is changing. I take the Coin mobile wallet out for a month-long field test and give you the results. Welcome everybody, a Spike Studio product review. We are doing a review of something I've lived with for a month. I wrote an entry out there that I would be actually doing the review, and I'm happy to say after a month of using it, I can now actually tell you how it works. So this is Coin. This is a replacement for multiple of your credit cards, debit cards, rewards cards, membership cards, anything that doesn't require a picture ID. You can actually use a picture ID with it, of course, but I mean, it doesn't store pictures on it, as you can see on the screen. We'll talk about that as well. What comes in the box? You actually get your lovely little box, Coin, and inside you're going to find a quick get started guide. It supports iOS and Android. You're going to find the coin that is yours only. Why is it yours only? Because your name is on the back. And then you will also find the lovely card reader. All those pieces are very important because you need to sync your cards to the actual app that's on the phone. Now, you can only have the Coin sync with one device. One device, Coin. Do you have to have the device when you're using the Coin? No, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So here's what we did. We fired up the app. You have to turn on Bluetooth for this to work. It actually uses Bluetooth inside of here. You can never turn off the Bluetooth in this, but it uses the buttons to activate and turn it on. It isn't just always run its low power. Then once you launch the app, it's going to say sync your first cards. What you do is you just take a standard everyday credit card and swipe it through to validate. You can type in the information such as what number to call if something's lost or stolen. All that's stored in there. It identifies it as MasterCard or Visa. One thing that the 1.0 version doesn't do yet, and there is a 2.0 of Coin coming, is it doesn't let you nickname the cards. So unless you're familiar with the last 4 digits, you're really going to have a tough time remembering which one it is. So what I did instead is I picked one MasterCard, one Visa, and then like membership cards, things like that. Made it really easy to use. Most people don't switch between 50 different cards, or maybe you have one Amex, one Visa, one MasterCard, whatever that case may be. What you're able to do then is put the card in sync mode and actually using the application sync. So at the bottom, it'll ask you what cards you want to sync. So as you can see, it's saying, which ones do you wish to sync? What you need to do is select and put a check mark next to them. Why am I not showing the cards on the screen? While it never shows the full 16 digits, just call me cautious. It shows digits on there. I don't want to show just as much. What you do is select the cards, meaning you can store unlimited amount of cards in the app. There's no limit that they say on the website. I had more than 10, no problem, but the Coin itself will only hold 8 at one time. So you're able to carry 8. If you need more than 8, get a second coin and a second phone, because that's the way it's going to work. What you'll do is actually hit the cards you want to sync using the check boxes next to them. Remember, if you don't check the little box next to the card, it won't sync over. It'll do the sync process, but it won't move. Then on the actual coin itself, what you'll do is the screen will light up. And what you'll do is I'll talk about what it's doing right now is unlocking itself. I'll actually hold down the button on the front until the word sync appears. At that point, you hit the sync on the app. They go together. All the cards you just added are now added to your Coin. You're ready to go. It's a very simple process. So what am I able to do live for you real quick? I picked the ability, and we'll say add a card, and it's a other, which is a points card. So swipe the card. It even tells you can go to manual mode. So I'm going to swipe the card. And now one thing I'll notice is about the speed you have to do this with. I can tell you I got mixed results every time when doing these. Some of the vendors would work really well right away. Others wouldn't work well right away. As you see, I'm doing this a few times to get the swipe right. That was one of the things. There we go. Swipe card. It's really acting kind of funny acting. Why did I do this live? To show you that the swipe reading wasn't perfect every time, no matter what I did. I can do a manual mode, but then it wants you to go in and then actually enter more information or reswipe to validate, mainly with credit cards. The reason being security-wise, they want to make sure that you have the card and you're not just entering a bunch of numbers to use Coin as that card. Yeah, this stripe could be bad. I was trying to do a new one for you. Oh, there it goes. It actually picked up all the information. So it took a few swipes, then it worked. I really like that feature. And you hit next, it'll let you nickname the card on this one. Now, one of the things you can't do, as I said before, is on the actual MasterCard and Visas is give good nicknames. And it only lets you do 4 characters. This was a fake plenty card that I picked up. It's not even hooked to anything. So as you can see, I can only put 4 letters to nickname what it is because the screen on here will only show 4. So I'll say Plen, it was the name. There's a customer support phone number area that you can actually enter. I skipped that. Now, if I'm going to actually do sync, what you can see, if I can do this right for you, is the checkbox is undone. So right now that card only exists on the app. It doesn't exist on the coin device itself. If I click the button and I hit sync, it'll now send it to there the next time I sync. So that's done. Now let's talk about usage. A couple cool things about this. There's a security, double encrypted for the Bluetooth when it syncs the cards. It uses the actual encryption, of course, for the data on the card itself. There's a 256 there. You can read it all on their website. When you use it, when you first turn it on, it's going to say lock. What it's looking for is either you to enter an unlock code, which is a tap code using this button here, or it's looking for the device itself with Bluetooth on and the app running so it knows that you're nearby and you can unlock. Once you do that, what you'll find up here is that, lo and behold, a MasterCard appears on the screen. So I have a MasterCard in here as well. What do they see as a cashier? They see MC, Visa, or the 4-digit letter that you assigned as a nickname, the last 4 digits of the card, as well as the expiration date. Then they go, well, I need your name to verify who you are. Well, my name's on the back. The coin is only good for one person. Show them your ID and use it. Success rate, about 95% to be honest with you. I was able to actually get this to work in almost every vendor. I had a couple problems. They explained one of them on the website, and I found out their receipts printed your name on it, so that means they read like track 1. There's 2 tracks on the back of cards. They read like track 1, which contains your name. That isn't stored in the stripe on the back. It only updates with the actual card information in terms of expiration number, the last 4, and all that stuff. That is a big showstopper for ones that use that. There's also no chip on here yet. Okay, honestly, we're in the US. Very few vendors even understand how to use the chip. I've seen machines on the counter which has a chip slot and a swipe slot, even with cards with the chip that I have. Gosh darn, I have one here. There's a chip. Guess what they don't do? They don't ever use the chip. They still swipe it. So let's talk about swiping. You're going to get mixed results with this, and you may have to help them out a little bit along the way. Most of the time at restaurants that take your card away or at shopping that you're standing in front of, they'd actually take it and they just swipe, all good to go. For some reason, fast food restaurants love to put the coin in the machine or your credit card in the machine and go, and then hand it to you. Why would you swipe it 65 times and why would you do it that fast? I don't know what the deal is. I handed it back to one. I said, go slow for me. So I, of course, didn't realize I would get this response. I got this. I said, really? Can we just do a normal swipe, which means just maybe once or twice, just do a normal speed swipe. This little super slow or this, and then they hand it to you, just didn't work. I had that problem at one place after they went and slowed down and did a normal swipe. It worked perfectly. Otherwise, the look on people's faces is quite astounding. 2 things. One, I was able to store a rewards card and the credit card I wanted to use on the same one. So what I did is I handed it to them and said, oh, here's my rewards card. And they looked, I said, just swipe it. They swiped it and the rewards came up. I said, and then they handed it back and they said, okay, that'll be whatever. I hit the button on the coin, changed it to the credit card I want, and handed it back again. And they just looked at me and said, now it's the credit card. And they said, you've got to be kidding me. I said, no, now it's the credit card you need. And they swiped it and they went, what the heck is that? That's awesome. I really love that. The also astounding look that a lot of them get is on the front, there is no other data. That really throws a lot of them off. If you want to look like you have a black card, go. This really works well if people think you have a black card. But it actually, there's no other data on the front, so that confuses a lot of people. They're not used to seeing just a couple digits and an expiration in the corner. One last thing that I can note is Coin is coming out with a 2.0 version, which has NFC support for tap and pay. That is full EMV capable, so tap and pay will be there. If you have a Coin 1.0, don't freak out because you can upgrade for free. Inside the app, if you launch the app, not the website, but launch the app, go in, there's a button that says at the end of their About the 2.0 version, upgrade for free. It says you'll receive your new coin in Q1 2016. So one last feature we really need to talk about before we run out of time. There is a lock and find ability. What that lets you do is lock the coin, and then it puts the lock on the screen and lets you see the last place it was inside the app itself. So if I click the lock button, you'll see the last scene at the bottom. It tells you last scene, date and time at the bottom, and puts it on a map. That's one of the coolest things in the world. So now I can actually see the last time, and it's accurate within like 20 meters, it says. So you can get a good idea of where the heck this coin was seen if anyone else is running it. Lock and find for me is on. I really like that. I didn't talk about the unlock code. I mentioned it, but didn't really talk about it with the button. The button itself on the front here and the app itself for security has a tap to unlock code. That tap code means it has long and short increments that you use to actually unlock. Picture it like back in the old days when people were using Morse code. That's what it is basically an unlock code using Morse code. It works if Bluetooth is off, the phone is not nearby, you can still unlock using a tap code on the front. Long and short codes. It's pre-built in, you configure it, you validate it. It's like a PIN number is what it is. So overall, what do we think? We think this is an awesome. I think it's a way of the future for a lot of things to consolidate. Before we even get into, tap mode with NFC, using virtual wallets, Apple Pay is a big deal, but not everybody has an iPhone. A lot of people do. But this gives you a little more flexibility. It gives you a card. When I see the NFC support in 2.0, we'll come back, we'll do another review and update it. Otherwise, it's another product review from Spike Studio, and thanks to Coin for sending it over for review.